Is this girl trying to do the Kamehameha wave on Uno? I love her. Yo, that's Jae Won's house. Yo, I see the sliding door. That's his kitchen. That's Jae Won. Wait, how did she end up there? We saw her on the bus, right? Oh my god, Seon Yeong. She's doing a da on the pole. I respect you. Oh my god, this woman. I love this woman. Now this was a good episode. And Seon Yeong, I'm glad to see her. Like, it almost felt like that we saw less and less of her, but now we see a little bit more of her, which is nice. But anyway, again, this was a really good episode. This episode was really all about Eun O and why she took on the persona as Sona, and we saw flashbacks on why she did everything that she did. Like, we saw a little bit of flashbacks and some stuff in previous episodes, and yeah, we can put two and two together and said, oh, okay, so that's the reason why she left for Yang Yang, that's why she became Sona. But for this one, we really got to see scenes of, like, step by step on how she got to Yang Yang and how she eventually took on Sona, and then, of course, meeting Jae Won. So for her flashback, obviously that we knew that her ex was having an affair with another woman. And we saw how she found out. Like, she walked into their apartment and she saw him with another woman. And I'm pretty sure she was pregnant at that time too. And then she was sad. She was about to go to a motel. Her phone, she decided to throw it away. And that's why she didn't know that her employment got canceled. Like, she did get the notice, it's just that her phone was thrown away. And that's why everyone else couldn't get hold of her, because again, her phone was thrown away. So that makes sense. Then after all of that, she got on the bus, went to Yang Yang, and then she went to that ramen place that we know, and yeah, she started working there. But she didn't instantly started working there. She had, like, who knows how many bowls of ramen. But eventually the two people that would become her friends while she was in Yang Yang, they asked her, hey, what's your name? You don't have to give us your real name, just tell us what you want us to call you. And then she took on Yoon Sona. Towards the end of the episode, she did talk about that she went to the stepping stone to meet with Jae Won. She was there when he was waiting there. That we knew. We saw a scene in a previous episode. And yeah, she was going to give him his cameras. But she said that she couldn't. She was nervous, obviously. And that led her to give him that phone message about stealing your cameras and breaking up. And she does regret it. One question about that. Does she regret breaking up with him, or does she regret breaking up with him in that way? It wasn't really implied. So, I mean, we know that she still loves him. So I'm gonna choose with regretting breaking up with him. Maybe, I don't know. At the beginning of the episode, during the camping, like, you can feel the tension, and you can obviously see that Jae Won was staring at Eun O. And they almost brought their business into it. Like, obviously the others, they don't know that they were dating and all of that. But yeah, I kind of thought things were going to get ugly during the camping. I'm glad it didn't. But yeah, and finally we got some alone time with Eun O and Jae Won, like, finally, face to face. But eventually it just ended with Eun O crying, and Jae Won, like, all he wanted was a explanation about everything. Why break up that way, the stealing the camera thing, hiding from him. And to be honest, yeah, she still didn't give an answer. And I don't blame Jae Won for storming out, because he's that way because of her. So for him to ask for just an explanation, like, it's not much, but you can really understand from Eun O's point of view, I am not gonna forget the funniest scene in this episode when Eun O was walking drunk, as well as Seon Yeong walking drunk too. They met, they had a drunk conversation about, like, oh, I'm gonna meet Kanggun, I never hated you. I thought you were a cool woman. You think I'm crazy? Like, I'm not gonna go through the entire conversation, but it ended with Seon Yeong doing what I think is the Kamehameha way from Dragon Ball Z. And let's not stop there with her doing that. I mean, the last scene in this episode was her doing the same thing. Like, she was still trying to find Eun O's house and see Kanggon. Like, she was there, but she was like, oh, maybe I got the wrong house. And then she was staring at a pole, and then she did that. And then she says, I respect you. I'm like, I love this woman. I love how the actress is portraying this woman. They picked the right person to play this character. Like 100%. Now I have one question. How did Eun O ended up in Jae Won's house? Like, yeah, she was walking drunk. The last time we saw her was on a bus. Maybe, well, here's the thing. Eun O doesn't know where Jae Won lives. So we saw her on the bus, and then we see her on Jae Won's bed. So we see her in his bed. Like, we already knew that's his house. Like, I even knew it. Because he's the only one, well, he is the only character who has a room with sliding doors. And once I saw the sliding doors, I was like, yep, that's his house. And yeah, she kind of cracked the door a bit, and she saw, and yeah, it was his kitchen, and that was him. I'm like, how did she end up there? Man, like, small things, like, isn't really that curious, but considering how good this drama is, it makes you curious. And man, again, I love this drama. I've said it in pretty much all of my reviews. I love this drama, and I'm not gonna stop saying it. For the next episode, we're definitely going to get more alone time with Jae Won and Eun O. Probably this time, Eun O will answer his questions, you know, give him a proper explanation, and probably tell him everything that happened. I'm pretty sure he knows already, but it'll be more appropriate for her to explain everything herself and confirm everything that Kyungjun told him. So I know that's gonna happen. I do want Seon Yeong and Kanggon to meet up again, cause Seon Yeong is just, she is adorable. Like, oh yeah, we saw a side of Seon Yeong that we haven't seen before, and it was when she was talking about a healthy breakup, and she was like, every time I break up with a guy, it's almost like they were waiting for it, you know, like she wanted to have the feeling of being loved, and I'm like, oh, I mean, you can't hate that. Like, everyone in a relationship, they want to feel like they're being loved back, and that's what Seon Yeong wanted. And Kanggon was definitely the perfect guy for her, until she stripped him, yelled at him, and took back everything she gave to him. Yeah, she messed up on that one. So yeah, that's my review. Like, everything here was just so perfect. The storytelling, like, even when some characters have less screen time than others, but it always makes up for other episodes. You know what I mean? It's not like one character is overshadowing another. It's not. None of these characters are overshadowing anybody. Like, everyone has their certain amount of screen time in the episode. You know, like, for example, Seon Yeong, she doesn't have as much scenes than the other characters, but that's okay, because she makes up for it with her personality, her scenes, her flashbacks, and it works. And the way that the concept of just telling the story obviously is not your typical drama, but man, they're doing a badass job, like a good badass job. Like, it's amazing. So anyway, again, this is my review. I hope you like it. Leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. See ya.